Thank you. Honorable members, it has been reported that a quorum does exist for the Finance and Public Accounts Committee to commence business. Those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Honorable members, in front of us, we have the agenda item. In the absence of any observations, can I have someone to move the motion that the agenda be adopted without amendments? It has been moved. Any seconder? It has been moved and seconded that the agenda item for the Finance and Public Accounts Committee be adopted. Those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Thank you very much. Welcome to the management and the board of the National Council for Civic Education. We welcome you to the National Assembly. We do also recognize the presence of the Auditor General's office, and then our partner, that's the Auditor General himself, our subject matter specialist, and the director. But before we proceed with the meeting, as custom demands in the National Assembly, we will start with the introduction of all members present. So I will start from my far left.
I'm Suleiman Jammeh, honorable member for Kapunda constituency.
Good morning. I am Honorable Pat Chan, man for Sanning and constituency, and a member to this committee.
Good morning. I am Sir Chan, member of Selecunda and member of the Club.
Yes.
I am Munikaba, research officer at
I'm Carlos, the Club Legislative Business Programs.
Good morning. I am Kevin Yasi, Finance and Admin Manager, NCCE.
Good morning. I am Sulim Kwei. I'm the Chairman of National Council.
Good morning. I am Sabine Salis Kile, the board member of the National Council.
Good morning. I am Yusuf Arapono, Program Manager at National Council for Civic Education.
Good morning. My name is Amit Taliba, Ranking Officer, National Council for Civic Education.
Good morning. I'm David Mendy, National.
Good morning, Civic Jalo, Director of Public National Council.
Good morning, Fanta Diallo, Business Manager from National Council.
For the indicted, Director General, DPPA. Kewalan Kufu, a member of the FAC committee. Today I'll be deputizing the chairman.
Director of Committees.
Thank you very much, honorable members, ladies and gentlemen. We are set to receive the presentation of the audited financial statements, the activity report, and the management letter for the National Council for Civic Education for the year ended 2020. But before we start the deliberations proper, in pursuance of the Constitution of the Gambia and the standing orders of the National Assembly, all witnesses who appear in front of the National Assembly and who will be giving testimonies shall be doing their affirmations to the relevant oaths. So I would give the chairman of the board of directors of NCCE to identify individuals for us or officers of NCCE who would be giving testimonies here today so that they can subscribe to the relevant oaths. So, Chairman, if you can help us identify the officers who will be giving testimonies today.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. I think the finance manager and the program manager.
The
finance and admin manager.
Okay.
Mr. Nyasi. Dr. Nyasi. And the program manager, Mr. Kapuja.
And as we proceed, if at all there is the need to receive testimony from any of the officers, And it happens to be that that particular officer didn't take the relevant oaths before the individual is given the floor. He would first have to subscribe to the oaths. This is in push one. And the officers also from the Auditor General's office as well will do the affirmation of oaths. So at this point, I will allow the Director of Committees to go ahead. Mr. Chairman, I've just been reminded that it is the responsibility of the board to do the presentation of accounts at the National Assembly. Of course, the board has the right to delegate, but in the absence of you subscribing to the relevant oaths, there will be no opportunity for you to make any delegations. So I would advise that you also affirm to the relevant oaths. Then you'll be in a position to do the relevant delegations. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much to the Chairman of the Board of Directors of NCCE and to the management team and the officers from the Auditor General's office. We will remind you that we are still on the oath, so before you do your affirmations of oath in the National Assembly. So, Chairman, there is a little adjustment in the way of presenting accounts in the National Assembly. And the adjustments are geared towards improving on the operational efficiency of the exercise at hand, so that at the end of the day, we will achieve the highest results, thereby within the limited time that we are having. So first we'll start with the activity report, which the Chairman of the Board of Directors of NCCE will be presenting, but basically only the key highlights, concentrating on the achievements and then challenges of those relevant issues that you believe the National Assembly should know. From there, we proceed with the presentation of the financial statement, which again lies under the purview of the Chairman of the Board of Directors. And again, in the financial statement as well, we want to know the key performances from the income statement and then other relevant sections of the report that you believe should be brought to the attention of the National Assembly. And the last one will be the presentation of the management letter from the Auditor General's office. And again, we urge the Auditor General's office as well to concentrate on the key highlights, the relevant points. And once that is done, we will adjourn for today, and tomorrow we will come for the substantive consideration. So along the way, you do feel free, because there are gray areas that you might require deliberations to the purpose of clarity, you can bring them on board. So for commentary, now call on the chairman of the board of directors for the National Council for Civic Education to do the presentation of the activity report, laying key emphasis on the major highlights of this report. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. So I will delegate the program manager to report on the activities of the National Council for Civic Education. And then the finance and active manager will do the finance.
Thank you, Chair. Your delegation has been accepted, so then we'll start with the program's manager to do the presentation of the activity report, concentrating on the key highlights. Thank you.
Honorable Chairman of the Senate Committee on Finance, Public Accounts Committee, honorable members, subject matter specialists, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I am pleased to present before this Assembly the program activity report of the National Council for Civic Education for the period January to December 2020. The program objective of the NCCE as by its mandate in the Constitution and the Enabling Act is to enlighten the citizens on their civic rights, responsibilities, and obligations. The NCCE has over the years designed and adopted diverse strategies in engaging the public across the country. The diverse strategic intervention of the NCCE in 2020 were executed through community sensitization outreach, school outreach, media, radio and TV programs, interface dialogue, and a host of available public engagement strategies from the Council. Key activities accomplished during the period under review includes the following. One, a weekly TV and radio talk shows. As part of effort to continually engage or continually reach out and take civic education to the doorstep of every Gambian. NCCE in the period under review engaged GRTS, Gambia Radio and Television Services, Paradise TV, and City Limit for a 6-month period to conduct weekly TV and radio talk shows. The various programs were live phone-in talk shows and panel discussions conducted in English and local languages during prime time to ensure wider understanding by the viewers and listeners. In addition to the talk shows, radio and TV spots were also produced and aired periodically in selected media outlets, including social media. Honorable Chair, rule of law, constitutional democracy are key tenets of good governance and have been identified as strategic areas both in the National Development Plan of the Gambia and the realization of the Global Agenda 2030 and its 17 Sustainable Development Goals. To enhance citizens' understanding of the supremacy and defense of the Constitution, especially in the community, the NCC with the team Enhancing Constitutional Democracy and Peaceful Coexistence embarked on a massive sensitization campaign from the 4th to the 10th March 2020. The campaign covers over 2,240 people, covering 28 communities in the LRR, NBR, and CRR. COVID sensitization. Honorable Chair, amid the outbreak and spread of coronavirus, which was first reported in the Gambia on the 17th March 2020, causing panic in the country, the NCC conducted extensive nationwide sensitizations, caravans, and TV and radio talk shows, alongside distribution of sanitary materials to hospitals and communities across the country from the 28th March to 4th April 2020 and 12th to the 20th August 2020. The sensitization and distribution of sanitary materials was meant to ensure that vital information about COVID-19 and its preventive etiquettes, as well as the needed sanitary and preventive materials, are available to the general public, especially the marginalized and hard to access communities. Popularization of the draft constitution. Honorable Chair, following the release of the draft constitution, the NCC, as part of its mandate and with support from our development partners, UNDP, embarked on a nationwide radio and TV sensitization engagements through talk shows and airing of sports in selected radio stations across the country. This was to sensitize the public about the content of the final draft constitution, provide citizens with information about the final draft, to enable them understand the content, as well as enlighten them about the processes and journey that the constitution will take before it becomes a law. That is through a referendum. Capacity building. Honorable Chair, the release of the final draft constitution comes with heightened demand for civic actors such as the National Council for Civic Education to create the necessary civic awareness, reorient the national consciousness for the new dispensation, and engender robust public engagement in the constitutional building and referendum process. Effective provision of civic education is therefore needed to help the general public understand the content of the draft constitution and mobilize popular participation. Against this backdrop, NCC, with support from UNDP again, organized a 4-day capacity building workshop on the draft constitution for the NCC staff. This was to support the capacity development need of NCC officials on the content of the draft constitution, especially key innovations, expansion, and novel provisions that are in the constitution for effective and sustainable provision of civic education on the draft constitution. To provide a platform for dialogue and foster cooperation among political actors and their grassroots structures to promote peace, reconciliation, and social cohesion, the NCC, with support from UNFPA under the PDF project, organized dialogue sessions with political party leaders at both national and regional levels. And the dialogue was held virtually amid COVID-19, which was attended by over 50 participants, including party executives. Honorable Chair, again, as the country continues its decentralization process, the NCC recognized that it is also important to build the capacity of local government decentralized structures, especially the VDCs, the WD, and the WDCs, not just to understand their functions as the entry point for development, but also observing democratic tenets, promoting inclusiveness, accountability to ensure sustainable peace and development. In this light, the NCC, with funding from PBF again through UNFPA, conducted trainings for the VDCs and the WDCs on the Local Government Act and the role of women and youth in the decentralization process. This was done in LRR, NBR, CRR, and URR from the 22nd to the 29th September 2020. Due to the frequent clash between some of these structures, such as the VDCs and the Alcalde, there is need for engagement to deepen understanding of the various structures and the actors in line with the legal instruments, such as the Local Government Act, for effective and efficient fulfillment of their respective mandate, as well as promote peace, reconciliation, and stability at the grassroots level. Honorable Chair, following the demise of the National Assembly member for the Nyamina West constituency in January 2020, and the resignation of the Ward Council of Kergarga in Kerewan Area Council, the two seats became vacant, triggering the need for a by-election to fill them. Consequently, the IEC set the 7th November 2020 as the date for the by-election. To this end, in line with mandate, NCCE embarked on a week-long civic and voter education campaign in both Yamina West constituency and the Kerjagao from the 20th to the 26th October 2020, engaging over a dozen communities in each of the areas. This was to educate and raise public awareness, especially citizens of the concerned constituency and ward, about the by-elections, its importance, individual rights and duties of citizens to participate in election and encourage participation and increase voter turnout. In the context of the poor representation and participation of women and young people in decision-making at the national and local level, the NCC, with support from UNFPA, conducted training sessions for selected communities in West Coast, LRR, NPR, CRR, and URR from the 1st to the 10th of December, involving over 406 participants, such as the chiefs, the Alcaro lady councillors, the leaders, VDCs, and WDCs. The training aims at enhancing awareness and understanding of the local and traditional authorities on the need to advance and uphold women and youth participation in decision-making and peace building at grassroots level, especially within the local government centralized structures, such as the chiefs, the Alcalo, the VDCs, and WDCs, to ensure inclusion in peace building initiatives, good governance, and development process. Also, the NCC, in collaboration with UNDEF through Tango under the Democracy Project, conducted a nationwide sensitization outreach on democracy, good governance, human rights, and duties. The activity under the theme Consolidated Good Governance and Human Rights in the Gambia was held from the 11th to the 16th December 2020 in 6 selected communities in West Coast, LRR, NPR, CRR, and URR, engaging about 900 people within the selected communities. Honorable Chair, the Gambia, like the rest of Africa, has a very young population. Almost 65% of the Gambia's population is below the age of 25. This prospect is a double-edged sword, bringing with its huge potential, but if not harnessed, could also turn into a major threat. To this end, NCC, with support from UNFPA through UNICEF, conducted a 6-day training from the 24th to the 29th December in 6 communities, engaging about 244 young people. This was to build the capacity and understanding of youth, of leadership, civic rights and duties, and also to responsibly assume their roles in the socio-economic development of the country. Collaborations and partnerships. As part of Council's desire and effort to be innovative, build staff capacity through experience sharing, improve performance and delivery, as well as diversify its funding opportunity through strategic collaboration and partnership with relevant institutions and stakeholders, including development partners, the NCC during the period under review was able to forge new partnership and sign memorandum of understanding with the following. The Association of Non-Governmental Organizations, that's Tango, Center for Policy Research and Strategic Studies, CEPRAS, National Youth Council, Sahel Films Academy, and National Human Rights Commission. In conclusion, Honorable Chair, these reports attempt to indicate the mandate of NCCE, the activities it embarked on to fulfill its mandate, the challenges faced, and the recommendation for improved service delivery. NCC has positively carried out a wide array of activities and programs during the period under review, which have registered significant impact in enlightening the citizens to raise their civic consciousness and political participation. However, there is still room for improvement to further reinforce the work of the NCCE and ensure sustained civic awareness among the citizens. The need to strengthen the NCC to effectively fulfill its constitutional mandate is very pressing considering our current democratic and political realities. The widespread polarization, partisan, ethnic, and religious division among Gambians makes civic education both more challenging and increasingly important. With this remark, Honorable Chair, members of the committee, subject matter specialists, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to thank you all for your kind attention, and I will pause here and allow the finance and admin manager to continue with the finance one. Thank you.
Thank you, Program Manager. the finance and admin manager, please give us the references with regards to the page numbers as you proceed with the presentation of the financial statement for the year ended 2020. Thank you. You may proceed.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the special committee for the special subject matter. Good morning, honorable members. Good morning, members of the audit team and the procurement team, and my colleagues from the National Council from Civic Education. I'm here to present to you the financial statement for the National Council for Civic Education for the year ended 31st December 2020. The financial statements are in two folds. One is the statement of receipt and payment. The other one is those that accompany the financial statements. The financial statements as it stands for the year under review, a total revenue of 17 million.
Sorry, Mr. Can we know the page number?
Pardon?
The page number.
It's on page 9 of the report.
Page 9.
Yeah. Okay. You have three reports combined together.
Thank you.
You have the activity report.
Okay.
You have the establishment report under the financial statement report. I am reading on page 9. Yeah. Under the year under review, we received a total income of 17,671,023.36 butus, compared to the previous year of 10,287,066.82 butus. The revenue comprises of the subvention from the government, which was a total of 11,858,110. That's what we received in the year under review, compared to the previous year, 8,589,634. We also received funding from other donors like the TAMIGO, UNFPA, UNDP, and UNICEF, okay. So there are also we out of this revenue, we have a total. We have made an expenditure of 16,922,554 and 1 butu, compared to the previous year of 10,333,564 and 68 butus. These are the total expenditure, and the components of these expenditures comprises of bank charges of $15,218.54 butus, compared to the previous year of $5,108.60 butus. Salaries, we spent a total of $4,558,108.78 butus, compared to the previous year of $2,505,922.45 butus. We also spent cancel our allowance in the year under review of $399,000, compared to the previous year of $683,600. Advances to staff, that is staff advances, loans to staff, we spent $189,676, compared to the previous year of $87,133. On telephone, we spent a total of 31,110.56 bottles, compared to the previous year of $315,097.82 bottles. Miscellaneous and sundry expenses, we spent $450,564.10 bottles, compared to the previous year of $385,239.78 bottles. Fuel and lubricant, we spent a total of $637,399.97 bottles, compared to the previous year of $691,050.3 bottles. Local travel, we spent a total of $30,000 in the year under review, while the previous year is zero. It's zero in the sense that I think it's explained in the notes. If you go to the notes, it will be explained that why is it zero. Vehicle maintenance, we spent $363,200 in the current in the year under review, and in the previous year we spent $542,210. That is 56 crores, compared to the previous year $3,609. Airtime and community sensitization, we spent a total of $5,122,243.50 bottles. In the previous year, we spent a total of $3,339,839. On training, workshop, and seminars, we spent a total of $1,404,047 bottles, compared to the previous year, a total of $840,540. Expendable fixed assets, these are capital expenditures. We spend a total of $3,093,500 in the year under review, while in the previous year we spent $706,850. Maintenance of office building, we spend a total of $10,920, compared to the previous year $6,590. Electricity and water, a total of $86,100 was spent in the year under review, compared to the previous year $220,775. Maintenance of equipment, a total of $57,050 was spent, while in the previous year zero amount was spent, but it's explained in the notes for the account. Stationery, we spent $44,660 in the previous year, zero was spent. An explanation is made on the notes to the account. Contracts and consultancy services. Contract and consultancy, a total of $225,000 was spent, while in the previous year the zero amount was spent, and the notes would explain the reason for the zero. Out of this, a total of $16,922,554 is one bottle was total expenditure for the year under review, whereas in the previous year a total of $10,333,561 was spent. 564.68 bottles was spent. Okay, we had a net income of, that is after taking out all the expenses from the revenue, we had a net income of $748,469.35 bottles. In the previous year, we had a deficit of $45,000. $46,417 to $497.86. Okay. Opening balance, that was the cash that we had by the start of the year. We had an opening balance of $506,096.10, whereas in the previous year we had an opening balance of $552,593.96. At the end of the year, a total cash book balance of $1,254,565.45 was what we had at the close of the year as our cash and the cash book balance at the year end. Whereas in the previous year we had a balance of $506,096.10. Mr. Chairman,
Thank you, Mr. Director of Finance.
Yeah.
I believe that was more than a highlight.
Okay.
But you've done justice to the accounts.
Okay.
Not only given us the performance, but in detail also.
Okay.
So the rest of the notes
Okay.
will be additional information that will be used
Yes.
at committee level.
Exactly.
In the scrutiny of the accounts.
Exactly. Yes.
And where needed, we apply it in the substantive consideration mode.
Okay.
So at this point,
Okay.
what we will do is we move it to the office of the Auditor General.
Okay.
And we'll allow the Auditor General's office to give us the management letter. Basically, the highlights of the management letter. Starting with the Auditor General. Thank you.
Good morning. Can I start?
Mike?
Thank you very much. Please refer to page 7 of the audit report. And it reads, opinion. We have audited the financial statements of the National Council for Civic Education for the year ended 31st December 2020. These financial statements comprise the statement of receipts and payments for the year then ended and a summary of significant accounting progresses and other explanatory information set out on pages 9 to 25. In our opinion, the accompanying financial statement present fair in all material respects the financial performance of National Council for Civic Education for the year ended 31st December 2020 in accordance with International Public Sector Accounting Standard IFSA's cash basis. Honorable Chair, please refer to page 33 of the ML. Improper maintenance of cash book. We noted that the council did not maintain a proper cash book. The revenue was credited and payments debited. Implication, in the absence of a proper cash book, the correctness of figures in the financial statement might be difficult to confirm, which might lead to misstatement of the cash balances in the financial statement. Priority high recommendation, the council should ensure that a proper cash book is maintained by recording transactions accordingly and submit for verification. Auditors for the comment, the cash book was adjusted as recommended. 3.1.2, we noted that the council did not maintain general ledgers to record individual transactions to their respective revenue or expenditure accounts. The implication, it will be difficult to ascertain the accuracy of figures of the financial statement, which may lead to unnoticed misstatement of the financial statement. Priority high recommendation, the council should prepare individual ledgers and revise the financial statements, as the ledgers should form the basis for preparing the financial statements. Auditors for the comment, ledgers were prepared and confirmed. Honorable Chair, please refer to page 36, 3.2.2. Inadequate accounting policy. We noted that the accounting policy of the Council was not adequate. It did not include policy for assets, the reporting date, and the reporting currency. Implication: inadequate accounting policies might lead to limited information, thus making it difficult for financial statement users to make informed financial decisions. Priority high recommendation: the Council should revise the accounting policy in accordance with IPSA's cash basis requirements. Auditors further comment: recommendation implemented as per the revised financial statements. Please go to page 38, 3.2.4, incorrect treatment of refunds. Finding: we noted that the refunds were treated as receipts in the statement of receipts and payments for the year ended 2020. Implication: this will overstate total receipts for the year in the financial statement. Priority high recommendation: the Council should ensure to adjust the refunds to their respective expenditure line and revise the financial statements accordingly. Auditors for the comment: recommendations implemented as per the revised financial statement. 3.2.5 capital expenditure. We noted that some non-capital expenditures were treated as capital expenditure in the financial statement. Example is a payment of printed face masks with NCCE logo, COVID-19 NCCE. The nature of the capital expenditure was not disclosed adequately in the notes to the account. Implication: the capital expenditure figure in the financial statement will be overstated. Priority high recommendation: the Council should revise the financial statement to treat the non-capital items to their respective expenditure lines. Auditors for the comment: recommendation implemented as per the revised financial statement. Please refer to page 42, 3.2.8, lack of comparative figures. We noted notes 4, 5, 21, and 22 to the financial statements were without comparative figures. These were in respect of salary, staff allowances, opening and closing balances respectively. Implication: this shows lack of consistency on the presentation of the financial statement, leading to limited information, thus making it difficult for financial statement users to make informed financial decisions. Priority high recommendation: the financial statement should be revised to include comparative figures for all notes to the financial statement. Auditors for the comment: recommendation implemented as per the revised financial statement. Page 44, 3.3.1, awarding of contract. We noted that Council awarded a contract to X to review the NCCE Act 1998 and draft a new act that will respond to the current and future realities. However, we were not provided with the evidence of a competitive bidding in the award of the contract. Implication: the contract may be awarded without regards to quality and value for money. The transparency of the awarding process is compromised. Priority high recommendation: Council should ensure that all documents relating to awarding of the contract are provided for review. Auditors for the comment: recommendation not implemented as provided. 3.4.1, payment vouchers not numbered. Finding: examination of payment vouchers revealed that payment vouchers for the period under review were not numbered. Implication: it is difficult to trace the payment relating to a particular payment vouchers in the cash book. Priority medium recommendation: Council should ensure that all payment vouchers are serially numbered. Honorable Chair, please refer to page 47, that is follow-up on previous audit reports. No risk assessment in place. This is still not implemented at the time of the audit. No disaster recovery plan not implemented. Lack of approved budget not implemented during the audit. Contact assets not implemented. No sequential file of council and management meeting minutes not implemented. NCCE Act partly implemented. The Act is under review. There was no information security policy. Still not implemented. Honorable Chair, this is what I wanted to highlight.
Thank you very much for that presentation. We will say thank you to the program manager. And then we would like to point out that the synopsis that you provided with regards to the activity report, if we can have a printout of the report, then we'll attach it as an addendum to this report.
So that's the summary of what you have prepared.
Yes, but yes, we need that summary as an addendum to this report.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, so at this juncture, honorable members. Okay. Honorable members, before coming to you, we would consult with the Director General of GPPA whether we have any compliance report on NCCE for the year ended 2020.
No, there's no compliance report for the year ended 2020. I understand from our office that the compliance report is for 2017 and 18. Thank you, sir.
Which means we are in areas for 2019 and then 2020.
Yes, sir.
Honorable members, you will recall that we are supposed to have a consultative meeting with GPA, but their current DG is trying to do some in-house keeping. So before the end of the day, we will report back to the FPAC committee as to when it might be ideal to put him in a better position to give us the accurate feedback. So tentatively, this meeting might be next week. That will avail all of us the opportunity to plan together and make sure that we keep them up to date. But nonetheless, Honorable DJ, you can be on top of your staff and let them know that it's of the highest priority that these compliance reports are what? Completed. Thank you. Honorable members, on any observations on the presentation of the various reports? Okay. In the absence of that, Honorable Chairman of the Board, today is your presentation. The floor is yours, so in case you have some issues that you might like to bring to the attention of the National Assembly, so that as partners, we can work on them concertedly towards improving the operations of the National Council for Civic Education.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair, for giving us the opportunity to once again highlight some of the challenges that we face at the National Council for Civic Education. These are issues that we've been raising all the time, but I think it is not even bad to repeat it again. One of our main challenges is mobility. As highlighted in the activity report, we are supposed to be going around and sensitize people in lead communities, especially areas where it is hard to reach. And we have challenges in trying to consistently engage communities and discuss about civic education, civic rights, civic responsibilities, good governance, good neighborliness. These are things that we always feel that we should go out and do. So mobility is one challenge. The other challenge that we face is since NCCE was established, we are still renting office premises is our problem. And anytime these rents will keep changing, and you will be moving from one place to another, and anytime you make a movement, it comes with a cost. And you might even lose some of your documents and some of your equipment. So office premises is a challenge. One of the core values of NCCE is to decentralize. At the moment, we are operating from our main office, going up country to do trekking. And anytime we meet the communities, they will ask us to be coming frequently to meet them, because these are some of the information, these are some of the
actually discussions that they need so that they, be able to live happily together, But decentralizing also comes with a cost. But at the moment, we have started engaging the governors, and hopefully we'll be allocated some offices. I know we cannot go full scale, but at least before the end of the year, we want to start with one of the regions, so that this office will serve as our entry point to that region. And also when we leave, that office will continue the work we're doing with the region in collaboration with other stakeholders that are operating in the region. He will represent NCCE in any of their engagements and talk about civic education, and this continuous engagement the community will continue to enjoy. The other challenge is the subvention that we receive from the Office of the President or from Finance. The unfortunate thing is every month we are given an amount, and we don't even know what is coming in the next month. And that makes life very difficult for us, because it is difficult for us to plan. You can only plan if you know how much you have in the kitchen. But if you don't know, it's difficult to plan. And these figures keep changing. They may give you $100 in this time, next time they just look around and lose $500, maybe even $50. So that inconsistency in the allocation of subvention is a problem. And we would have loved to, for the beginning of the year, we know how much we have in the year. Then we can plan our program activities across the year. So that subvention is a problem. The other thing that we would want to appeal for the Honorable House and Honorable Members to help us to push is the Act. Since 1998, 1997, that Act is still there. And anytime we come here, we were told that this is not an Act, this is just a page or two. So we at least endeavored to engage a consultant to do a draft for us, will be validated with our stakeholders, and it is now with the Ministry of Justice. So if, honorable members can have a hand and push so that we can get this act, so that we can operate. That act will also give us the opportunity, because right now we are operating from the Office of the President. Well, that's where we belong, because and that makes life difficult for us. Because anytime we approach our partners, they will say you are government, you're not independent, and we are an independent body. That's what we are. But being under the Office of the President, you are regarded as not independent, and I think they are right. So they will not give you their money. It is you are the government and government fund. So getting out other source of revenue from, apart from this subvention that we get from government, is a problem for us. So these are, I don't want to go with all our problems, but these are some of the challenges that we face at the National Council for Civic Education. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That was good. And then, as a National Assembly, we are cognizant of the pivotal role you are playing in not only maintaining the social theme of unity, vision, and patriotism, but as well as maintaining the traditional values and cultures of this country. And we believe that without the maintenance of these social values, we wouldn't have a headway towards maintaining the common good. So, before moving further, I would refer back to the honorable members in case you have some contributions or observations with regards to the statement that was delivered by the chairman of the board of directors of NCCE. Okay, honorable Tumani.
I just want to know whether they do prepare any annual budget, because you are saying that you don't know how much the subvention is. So I know it's going to be difficult for you to plan when you don't know how much you get it. So whether you do have an annual budget.
Okay, I would interject there. I think you answered that question. They have their budget bilaterals, but at the end of the day, the common constraint all majority of the government ministries, departments, and agencies are faced with is they don't know how much allocations are given to them. But we can all recall that at the level of the expert, we made amendments to that end. As of now, we are asking for a detailed budgeting, whereby the allocations of various departments will come out as a single line item. Then every agency, every department will be in a position to know how much is allocated to you for the entire year. Then that will help you in your planning and monitoring process as well. So, in the absence of any further observations, honorable members, can I have someone to move the motion that we adjourn the meeting till 12:15? It has been moved. Any seconder?
A second.
It has been moved and seconded that the meeting for the Finance and Public Accounts Committee be adjourned till today at 12:15. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. Thank you very much. The meeting is adjourned, and gentlemen, you are released.